I'm Shyam Krishna, research leader in RAND Europe. I'm also an expert affiliated with UNESCO and Council of Ethics, helping those organizations with their AI ethics work worldwide. AI sovereignty kind of gets defined at multiple levels, and largely we work with the idea that sovereignty works at the level of the nation state or at the country level. This kind of excludes ideas of community and communal approaches to assets and property, and also value making from them, because if you think of sovereignty under the data ecosystem, it all comes together in being able to assume the ownership and ensure that we can get value out of those data as assets. The distributed nature of AI now means that value generation is quite fragmented and does not allow for communities to come together and make sure that defined idea of value generation can be based on what their own goals as a community, like workers collective or artist collectives can define in AI, because models are created somewhere in the pipeline of value creation that doesn't necessarily expose these workers to have control of that, and use may not necessarily be connected to that data as well. And this level of fragmentation also goes to how countries can control these data flows and ergo the value flows as well. What can be done here is to ensure that there is some middle level accounting, middle level governance framework that allows for both economic, cultural and other kind of values can be brought together in a way that allows more the people who would be involved in the data collection and the use of critical areas of application of AI, like cultural workers or intellectual workers, and also necessarily data workers within the pipeline can actually benefit from it rather than having a fragmented effect that they see. Ultimately, the idea of AI and its value proposition is not done as an individual or just by the entities that create and control AI as a technology. It is in the collective output of workers, it is in the collective output of users and the collective ways in which they can employ AI as a tool. This is what is missing in the narrative that we see here. One critical issue that we see here in the guise of sovereignty, there is a lot of isolationism that happens, that when there is extraterritorial nature of value chains that are already in play in AI, they are being governed as if it can only be governed within a nation state. Cooperation, especially in South-South mode, would be useful to ensure that there is a collective understanding of gaps that these countries would have as sites of economic involvement, but also cultural involvement in the production of data that supports AI development, and bridging talent gaps, especially in regional areas like ASEAN or Asia Pacific, in the Indian subcontinent as well. This would be possible. And this makes governance of AI much more easier when you're looking at competition with some global north powers. Yes, it may not be ultimately perfect approach, but you would have some bargaining power when the right South-South collaboration is set up. ASEAN and African Union already has some frameworks in place which I'm hoping would contribute to this mode of thinking. There are very limited successful uptake of such frameworks. In fact, the data empowerment protocol like Beacon that's been developed in India is potentially a way forward. But again, it has to be consolidated by the right community so they can take control of the benefits that it would generate. And there are other approaches that are not necessarily data commons, but coming close to that with data trusts or the data altruist entities that are defined under the European data governance approaches. They do allow for these modes of community value to be explored. Yet again, it's not perfect. Equivalently, from an instrument perspective, internationally, we see UNESCO's Ethics of AI recommendation or Council of Europe's HUDARIA that do define how normatively these ideas can be approached. But this comes down to implementation at the national level and at individual community level where there is more empowerment required.